Liberals love to call President Donald Trump a Nazi every chance they get. Whether it is directly comparing him to Hitler or labeling one of his policies as Nazi-like, Democrats, apparently unaware of the realities of history, trot out that ridiculous soundbite like it's a government handout. The latest incident, which has liberals in a tizzy, is what is happening on our border with Mexico, and how illegal immigrants are being held simply to control the thousands who need to be processed at any one time. We see pictures of fence-holding areas, people in cages, many from the Obama era, and what looks to be the not-too-comfortable conditions at Border Patrol facilities. This, the Bleeding Hearts cry, is what Nazis do. Therefore, Trump is Hitler. However, sane people who understand history look at the Holocaust and the horror that was the Nazi machine invading countries, imprisoning citizens of their own nations, literally seizing people's businesses, dragging people out of their homes and into the streets to either put them on a train, to beat them mercilessly, or to execute them right in front of their families. Sane people see this in its proper light. The Nazi abomination reached a new level of macabre hatred as children were cut open and used in medical experiments. Adults were subject to all kinds of grotesque procedures to test the limits of human endurance, and women and children were routinely picked out of the suffering masses to be used to satisfy the morbid sexual appetites of those in command. Babies were thrown off dump trucks to be burned alive in ditches filled with fire. Those with any kind of physical handicap were immediately taken from the trains and told they needed to go to the showers, which in reality were mass killing tombs where hundreds at a time experienced their lives being extinguished as poisonous gas seared their lungs while a final darkness fell upon their consciousness. We have all seen the pictures of piles of skeletal humanity being bulldozed into mass graves as a testimony to an unchecked reign of power and terror which perceived their manifest destiny, or in German, their Lebensraum, to rid the world of those who differed from themselves. To compare this movement, this aberration in human history, Adolf Hitler's demonic perspicacity on how he was able to get people to follow his ideals and commands, and a political party who burned their own government buildings so they could blame the opposition, to Donald Trump, who trolls the liberal media just for fun. This mocks the hundreds of thousands of mortals whose ashes filled the skies over Auschwitz and whose nameless, emaciated bodies, stuffed in mass graves, haunt the European continent. Hitler's sexual deeds were known to be so abhorrent that 8 of his girlfriends previous to Eva Braun attempted suicide and 6 succeeded, as they were so ashamed of what they had partaken in. These are not the exploits of a playboy billionaire. This was the life of a mentally poisoned madman who possessed unchecked power for a time. Donald Trump is not Hitler. There is no resemblance. There is no parallel. Do not dishonor the millions who perished by making this illegitimate comparison. You contaminate the memories of millions whose lives came to an agonizing end under the authoritarian rule of a temporary, all-powerful psychopath when you further such deception. Trump is Trump. Hitler is Hitler. The vast gulf of ideologies which separate the two is nearly infinite.